My favorite card in the set is Caradora.
Of course you would. You're a mount.
Hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo ha. You're dead. Thrill of possibility mentioned.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with, I think, my least favorite card in the set.
No! We're gonna go over Aetherdrift, pretty bad set. We're gonna go over the couple cards that matter. So I'm actually building a deck for Captain Howler for one of my friends. Oh, I don't know how to play Izzet. Can you build an Izzet deck for me? I think the worst thing about him is the most concise win con you're gonna get is f***ing Blighted Agent. Everything else about him bangs so hard.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Captain Howler, the ceiling is a Blighted Agent win. However, there's a lot of fun things you can do with him. Blood Mist says at the beginning of combat on your turn, it's a personal duelist heritage. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. If you do this on the creature that you discarded the cards onto and gave the buff to, you get to double.
I'm gonna favorite that really quick.
Yeah, because this is a forever combat trigger until end of turn. Extra combats, Blood Mist, double strikes, that stuff like that, those will all work with Howler. My favorite card in the set is Caradora.
Of course you would. You're a mount. Streaming with a literal mount likes the mount tutor. Shocker.
What I like about Caradora is not her second ability at all. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters get put on a thing.
Yeah, the bad part of the card.
Yeah, I don't like that part of the card. I like the tutoring. It's cool.
So I'll work with you here because I am a believer tutoring is good. Like expensive tutoring, I'm totally fine with. Narrow tutoring, I'm generally fine with. I defy you to find me a mount or vehicle you can tutor for where I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's dope, and not just like hee hee hoo hoo big creature. So like to me this reads like my commander is abundance, except instead of land or non-land, I just get to choose mount every time.
That's fair. For me, what really pushes this card over the edge is Fortune. Here, I'm just going to hop on the Scryfall.
You start telling me what cards you're like, yeah, this makes this dope.
Fortune Loyal Steed is really cool because you can saddle Caradora and start a tutor chain.
What?
So you have two options to repeatedly flicker Caradora. You can tutor for Mech Titan.
This is the first that you've said that interests me. I am a Mech Titan core enjoyer.
Yeah,
I can't believe you followed up. I think the tutoring is boring with, well, have you considered a chain of tutors? Some type of linked loop of tutoring.
I like that Caradora turns into a value engine. And then when you look at vehicles, holy shit, graveyard players are never going to get to play the game. Because you can tutor for the Nautiloid.
Oh yeah, I do like Nautiloid.
Nautiloid ship enters exile target player's graveyard, and then whenever the vehicle does damage to someone, you get to put a card exiled onto the battlefield under your control, which is insanely good. Lumbering World Wagon is broken, by the way. Not even to tutor for. This just curves into Caradora so nicely because she has 4 power. So this is like an explosive vegetation at least.
Oh yeah, I hate this card. I hate this card so much. I saw this card. I got like the tingle on the back of my neck to let me know green had a new fucking staple.
If you aren't averse to Universes Beyond cards like I am, you can get Night Paladin and you can start crewing it into the flicker vehicles and mounts after you crew one it. And then you like flicker it repeatedly with Thalia and those things to deal 4 damage to each opponent each time you do so.
That explains to me why people like it and also makes me hate it so much because it seems so... It is toolboxy, but I feel like realistically that toolbox is very, very flowcharty to the big stick of dynamite.
Yeah, so there, of course you're going to want to tutor for Parhelion a lot of the time, but you have backup plans and game. That because like here's the thing for me that makes this what I like. Night Paladin and Parhelion aren't I put this card into play, I win the game. They are value over time. Like this is what makes it fine for me. If Caradora tutored for a vehicle infinite combo, I'd be less in.
Yeah, I think it's not like, oh, this is too strong, but to me this sequence of events reads, my deck has 10 cards in it, and then also a random smattering of other interaction, ramp, flicker, whatever. Me play Caradora, me get Argosy, me look at the list of 5 different answer vehicles I have, I play one, I beat you to death. It does cook for like, I'm gonna get to play commander every time I sit down with this commander.
I love with Caradora that I just have my deck in my hand. Wait, that sounds bad.
Sorry, say that into the microphone. I mean, my stream title is typically Your Deck, My Mouth.
Yeah, I mean, and you just have heat as well in the deck. Like, Unidentified Hover Ship is pretty sick. It's a 3-mana, like, Skyclave apparition, and then you can flicker that with Thalia every turn. Steel Seraph is an artifact creature you can put under Mech Titan to keep Thalia safe by giving her flying every combat.
Were you perhaps reincarnated from a life as like a 1940s street magician who just did that one game where they like pick up the card, drop the card, pick up the card, drop the card? Because that's what you're doing. You just have like 18 fucking cards in front of you and you're like, hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo ha. You're dead. I will accept that it has motion, just not my particular rhythm.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Caradora for those exact reasons. And she has a couple fun +1/+1 counter synergies. For me, it's like Gyre Sage and Heronblade Elite. Gyre Sage is evolved, tap to add counters equal to the number of +1/+1 counters. Heronblade Elite is a mana dork with it's Marwyn the Nurturer, but for humans. Like, you don't build around don't strangle me.
You keep bringing me back, and then you're like, yeah, but like what I do like is what if we just shat 1,000,000 mana? What if we just took that second half of the card that I said didn't matter, and then we ripped a ton of free value? The Last Ride.
Oh, man.
So 1 mana, 13/13, doesn't matter because it gets -X, where X is your life total. And then it's 2 and a black, pay to draw a card.
I was thinking about this card all of last night. It was keeping me
Haunting your nightmares.
I mean, what's your thoughts on the card?
What I really like for it, and I'm gonna pull up the Rachel Weeks commander bracket graphic, since that is just the superior graphic, even though it doesn't change the system. And this is also mostly informed from all the deck roasting I do, rather than the decks I'm trying to build myself, is like brackets 1 and 2 need fucking engines. And what I see over and over and over again is people are trying to build something that would be a 1 or would be a 2, and they get to the card draw section and they just fall over dead, and then eventually go, well, fuck it, I guess this deck needs Rhystic Study. It's what I like is like all of our bad decks, right? I want to think of like every low power deck you have. Do you have any 1-drops worth a damn? Here's the bold statement I'll make about the Last Ride. I think if every low power deck replaced their Soul Ring with a Last Ride, the world would be a better place. Like, the flavor of what the deck's trying to do is entirely overwritten by the play pattern of something like Rhystic Study, or if they had Smothering Tithe, what Smothering Tithe would do. And I think having these like just truly dog ass engines, like, this is not good. This is really not good.
Yeah, so what I like about the Last Ride, like what I actually genuinely like about this card is that you can tutor it with Trinket Maid. It's super cool that you can get this 1-drop vehicle, like sort of like greed value engine off of a Trinket Maid. I think that's super dope. What I don't like about it is that greed exists, and I think this card's ass already.
I mean, I think it's just put both in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree with you if Argyle's Bloodfast also didn't exist.
Yargle is in shambles.
Yeah, Yargle is fucking gone. Like, if you have a Yargle deck, meet your new queen. Kalaxi here owns. So for me, the thing that pushes this card over the edge, 3 mana for 7 power is insane. All right, ignore the 2. Black has ways to give this shit unblockable. Yeah, ignore the ass. She will get through because you're black, and you're going to have ways to give this card fear and menace and all other words. So if you want to go the Voltron route, you can. However, I'm going to argue that the Disciple of Bolas Powers Matter route is way better. Disciple of Bolas comes down on curve off of this.
Oh, God.
You draw 7, gain 7. And then this is 3 mana. That's the unearthed mana value. The number of black cards that bring back a creature with mana value 3 or less that are 1 to 3 mana are incredibly high. There's at least like 6 of them. Like, you are drawing fucking cards with Kalaxi.
I see 12 cards for the unearthed mana value, which is horrifying. Not all of them do it because I am bad at Scryfall syntax.
None of this would be possible without support from our highest tier Patreon members, so please join me and Little Nadu as we take a moment to thank Badger King, Sussedin, Christian B, Ryan A, Adam S, Solar Movie, Biggest Dickus, Kyle, Jess HW, Alpha Dog 2064, Crimson Viper, Zelenor, Otterfire, Dad Out for Milk, Kyler P, Bolus Brigade, Derek H, Phelan, Believe, Dungeon Masters Consortium, Zach G, Bobby Joe Lord, Talamar Von Geist, Troper and their 37 different identities, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. Thank you all, and enjoy the video.
How we feeling about a big old rock?
You shouldn't put cards in your deck where they become the best thing over the thing you actually like.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's the like Rhystic Study Mutate deck thing.
Yeah, so for this deal, Monument to Endurance is like, oh, Snail has an Esper cycling deck that's focused on Astral Slide, so you flicker every time you cycle.
Mm-hmm.
This is a shoo-in because it doubles all of your cycling. The problem is that you're going to be tutoring for this over Astral Slide because this is just a stronger card than Astral Slide, and you want this in play first as your value engine. You should not put this in your Astral Slide cycling deck because you're going to tutor for this instead of the Astral Slide.
We had different initial reactions because of how less good I like to play Magic than you, because I saw this card and my eyes lit up with holy fuck, Thrill of Possibility is card positive. That was my genuine reaction. I was like, Thrill of Possibility mentioned. We jingled the keys for fucking rummaging. Woo! No, like, this is going in my fucking Howler deck.
I think that the power level of this card in certain decks is just too high. It's going to make the deck soulless. In other decks, it's going to be the bump it needs. Oh, do you want to talk about the Brightglass Gearhulk? Let Tutor Boy get up on his Tutor altar.
Get off the fucking tutor horse, you piece of shit. Okay, so I'll tell you, here's what's gonna happen every time this card gets played. You're gonna put this on the stack. I'm gonna put a gun on the table, and I'm gonna say, is Soul Ring in your deck? And that answer is going to decide whether I shoot you dead in the middle of the LGS or not.
I think Soul Ring's the most boring thing you can grab.
Okay, agreed.
There's a lot of fun lines you can do with this piece of shit, though. Let me tell you.
Okay.
So there's a card called Voyager Staff. Oh boy, here we go. Voyager Staff. It's a 1-mana artifact. You can pay 2, sacrifice this artifact to exile target creature. Return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control to begin the next end step. You get to tutor for 3 things now. Salvage Scout. It's a 1-drop creature, and you can sacrifice this creature to return the Voyager Staff from your graveyard to your hand. And then you play it, and now we're getting 4 cards with the Brightglass Gearhulk. I can keep going. There's a lot of 1-drops that flicker that are artifacts or creatures.
I'm gonna try to trust you. What I want to know, at the end of this trade chain, what is the stuff that you eventually want to have out on the board?
You know what? That's a really
Or are
good
you just taking fucking game actions? Are you just Beyblading?
I'm looking at my deck.
You're just like, this card allows me to play show and tell. You have a YouTube channel. This is what it's for. It's for you to go look at all these sick fucking cards I would resolve.
A huge game with Brightglass Gearhulk is you can get Colossus Hammer and Sigarda's Aid with it. Both halves of the hammer combo. Sigarda's
Okay,
Aid
guns coming back out.
That's cool, though. I like that. It's super sweet that you can just get Sigarda's Aid with this. The fact that this gets artifacts, creatures, or enchantments is sick.
So,
like, this is way better than
Sigarda's Aid sees Hammer enter, right? Gearhulk says attach Colossus Hammer to a creature from your deck. It's been a great stream, y'all. If you play this in something like Bilbo, Abzan 2/3 that does life gain, you play this guy, and then you can tutor for the last ride.
Oh, fuck you.
And then we're drawing cards, baby. Then we're drawing fucking cards. So there's what you're going to do, and there's what I'm going to have to watch it do. And what I'm going to have to watch it do is go, okay, resolve Brightglass Gearhulk. I name Soul Warden. I name Authority of the Consuls. I pass. And now we're just watching paint dry. Here, I'll promote whatever YouTube video you make about Brightglass Gearhulk to convince the people to do anything other than that. When I look at that art, I see inside that little glass bubble, I just see life gain players spinning fidget spinners. Oh, the speed demon, yeah. I think if Start Your Engines was ever coming back to a future set, like I think 20 years from now when we've been back to Aetherdrift 4 more times.
I do want to interrupt you because I think in 2026 we're getting another racing set in Kamigawa.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, I don't know if that was confirmed or not.
Okay, so maybe in like 5 years, because I think as Start Your Engines becomes less of a like draft chaff mechanic and more of a thing you could reliably trigger before we got into like the meat of the game, this becomes playable as, let me steal a word from Snail, as a counterweight commander.
So like the list of things I like with this, Amonkhet Raceway, Avishkar Raceway, the Lance, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lance engine is very early and black has a good way to drain. This is a commander that will come down and draw you 4 cards on turn 5.
Yeah. And I think the only weakness of it right now is, or like what makes it really bad right now, is the concentration of those cards is so low that it's very much like Magical Christmas Land territory to be like, oh yeah, I'm always going to rip turn 4, turn 5, speed demon, draw 4.
I think like the upper echelon of the speed demon, if you built him correctly, is he will come down and draw you 2 cards.
Yeah.
That is the most average case. You will have played him and have hit someone. Your speed is now 2, you draw 2 on your end step. You are not building the speed demon correctly if you put this fuck in your deck.
Yeah, so I think it's just like the speed demon, he's just not a commander build around. He is a like, I'm doing this other thing and I want to be deeply irresponsible about the amount of card draw I put in this deck. And so fuck it. Speed demon is here as Phyrexian Arena Plus.
All right, I'm going to hit you with, I think, my least favorite card in the set.
No!
Fucking hate this card. This card sucks.
Why do you hate this card?
It's triple fucking red, dude. This is so hard to cast.
Oh yeah, so the 3 color players don't get it? What about it?
No, you don't get to play utility lands in your mono red deck.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, you straight up landlubber.
Okay, motherfucker. Are you putting 37 red, like, mountains in your deck? Or are you putting the Gaia Reach Sanitariums in and stuff like that? Red has so many of this effect already, and they all fucking suck. The fact that it's triple red just makes it worse than a 4-mana version of this effect.
So here's your problem right now. You're speaking facts to a Niv Mizzet player. And so as soon as you did that, I rejected your reality and substituted my own. And what my reality is as someone who came up in this game trying to resolve fucking Niv Mizzet Perrin in all of my Izzet decks, if Count on Luck is the best permanent you have and deserves removal, either nothing is happening in that game or the people you are playing with are smoking crack cocaine.
For me, it's just like, how many cards off Count on Luck do I want before I'm happy with the card?
Bro,
The
1.
answer is, I think 4. I want 4 cards off of this before I'm fucking significantly happy with it. The thing is I play this on turn 3. That's happening on turn 7. The triple red is preventing me from playing this on turn 3 a lot of games because it's just so hard to cast. I'm going to get this down on maybe turn 5 in a 2-color deck or in a mono red deck that isn't all mountains. And then we're getting that 4 cards on like now turn, 11.
Just because you're saying this, I'm putting this in my Captain Howler deck. I'm going to find an excuse to play it against you, and it's going to come down turn 3, no fucking problem. It's going to make me giddy turn 4.
I think this card is terminally boring.
I will agree with you for standard Belker. I think the average Ketramos deck, I agree, is Rizless.
I think Ketos works with literally fucking everything, and it's not even close. Like, that's not an exaggeration. It works with removal, it works with Flicker, it works with Grave Hate. Like, all the cards you're already playing in Commander. This card just sucks you off for playing Commander. This is no different than Landfall.
Ooh, that's spicy. I love a good amount of anger. Who the fuck is delving in Orzhov, though?
I mean...
You fighting ghosts over there? Are you
when I
boxing
say
with
that.
some shadows?
Who?
What did the Gurmag Angler do to you?
Okay, Gurmag Angler is not the card I'm talking about. What's the name of the fucking kill spell? Murderous Cut. This card actually owns. Long story short, a Ketramos is just like, it's just like drawing cards, and it's impossible to remove for a lot of people who are like, you need a Swords to Plowshares this. Yet another card pushing me away from destroy target creature and into exile target creature, right?
Yeah, what I will give you on this is I think theme decks with Ketramos suck. I defy anybody to make a Ketramos deck that I would call cool. When I saw this, I was like, oh, high power, mechanically driven card for tables where the rule 0 conversation is, I fucking hate you guys, let's play Magic. If you ever tell me, oh, my Ketramos deck is a 1, you're a fucking liar. You can never slap this thing down on the table and tell me that it's about to be interesting.
So for me, Ovia is really good in the 99. It's just an Elvish Piper, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it puts vehicles into play, and I like the trample text. I think the trample text is pretty funny. For me, though, what this card reads is put me in the 99 of Caradora. You know what I mean? Like, you go
Okay,
Caradora
yeah.
turn 4,
Yeah, so this
you go
is
Caradora
just...
turn 4, or rather, you go Ovia turn 4. Turn 5, you go Caradora. You have 1 green mana.
Right, and
You feed the vehicle into play on someone's end step. Right? That's the play pattern for Ovia. I would never put this in a command zone. I think that card is horrible. Elvish Piper's just a bad card.
Okay, so I'm going to immediately caveat Ovia then in the command zone.
Can I give you a second one for in the command zone? I think there's a card that's really cool in the set, but you should never put in the command zone. That is this beautiful lady right here.
I agree. On principle, I hate the card because it's Simic. I love it when Simic has to care about any metric other than more, please, more.
The thing with Sabsunin as well, that I really like, is that it keeps pushing Simic into like the weird math colors. Yes, the weird math Simic cards are super cool.
Yeah, Simic having to, because the only Simic deck I've played and enjoyed so far has been the Zimone deck that cared about prime lands. That one, that pleased me to actually be like, okay, I need to do something other than make number go up ad infinitum. Listen, we now need a second Rizless and Bitchless slide.
Yeah,
because it's just gonna keep going. Fuck this guy.
Hard disagree.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Commander players when Sun Titan isn't in white. Oh, this card sucks. This card's annoying.
I don't like Sun Titan either. I hate that guy too.
I like that this card just has haste because of Arena of Glory.
Everything has Arena of Glory stapled to its backside.
That's where I'm at with this card. It's a trash for treasure Titan.
Yeah, you use him to flop out Portal to Phyrexia or like Triplicate Titan or some crazy expensive.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Looping Triplicate Titan's actually pretty fun. And I say looping very lightly here because we're not like sack, bring it back, sack, bring it back, sack, bring it back. It's once every other turn I make 3/3/3s.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm sorry. I hit delete. I'm sorry I was wrong. But yeah, I'll say Duretti in a vacuum. Sure. Duretti, big artifact reanimator. Chill. I hate this card, but I think I have the accurate read on what this card does.
I at first read this card, I was like, oh fuck. I thought it had Seedboard Muse text. At the beginning of each untap step, you also untap all your shit. I was like, fuck yeah, we're going in. No, it's a wilderness reclamation for your artifacts, and you untap all your creatures.
Yeah, so I do not think it's the broadest bullshit ever, but here is why I still hate it. I hate it because what it says to me is artifact decks and every Simic deck ever now gets to take the greediest turn in the world and still play on our turns, which was previously an actual choice they had to make of do I just value Sprawl or do I save mana to stick a finger in your mouth? Now this says take the greediest turn imaginable and then have a dirty finger left over to stick in my mouth.
Non-greed decks were already hitting you with the Seedboard Muse and the Wilderness Reclamation. They were already fucking you.
I don't think it breaks a lot of stuff in half, but I think every deck that it enables terminally boring shit.
This card to me is so fucking upsetting because it's literally just like Unwinding Clock is infinitely fucking better, almost in any application.
I'm gonna sound crazy here. I think 99 card singleton, concentration matters. Unwinding Clock, undeniably better. Seedborn Muse, undeniably better. Because in a game like Commander where we're trying to like lean on variants to give us varied play patterns, every version of these effects that you introduce matter a lot for how common it is for that to be the deck's only play pattern. I think this is kind of like tangential to the thing you talked about where Monument to Endurance, Astral Slide, because you're just always monumenting. I think once you start adding too many of these effects, particularly in tables that are not yet comfortable enough with tutors, it just goes from like sometimes they get to stick a finger in your mouth to this is my stick a finger in your mouth deck. Oh yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. And I say this as a loot. I like Loot the character. I am not a kill Loot with hammers supporter, but fuck that card.
I would stuff him and put him on my like monitor or like mount him like on the shelf.
They're gonna have a plushie for you in like 6 months.
Yeah, dude. Like literally, is this just not Displacer Kit in the deck?
Yeah, this says to me either my deck does nothing or my deck is a Displacer Kitten combo.
I need to hear why.
Fuck this guy and the sick card he wrote in on. So this is one of my super whatever in terms of power. Ward pay 2 life is like a fucking sneeze. Artifacts you control, ward pay 2 life, also a sneeze. Everybody who wants to get rid of artifact players is vandal blasting you anyway. So I think the only text that matters on this card is exhaust. I am the most boring Magic player you have ever sat across from. Yeah, like I think Winter just goes, haha, now that I've executed my master plan, you have no way to defend against, hold on, 4 2/2s.
There's not a lot of joy. Also, this fuck is not a human. This is a spirit if I've ever seen a spirit in my entire fucking life.
Wow, bro. You think Osmosis Jones is a ghost? You think Osmosis Jones is not
No, that's an ooze.
a living, breathing
It would make
person?
more sense if Winter was an ooze.
True. No, he's just like powered up. Yeah, he's just Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he's Super Saiyan with spirit energy from the demon behind him. If we were any amount of professional and prepared at all, we would have had a tier list ready.
It's about the improv. Going Super Saiyan with the most mid board wipe you've ever seen.
I really like Hashaon as like Luris companion Esper deck.
Okay.
Dude, you could never Esper Luris companion before Hashaon.
Okay, so you're 4-4ing shitty little hate bears?
Yeah. Like you do hate bears, or you 4-4 something that likes its power being huge.
Yeah. Esper Sentinel being the archetypal guy for that. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, good example. Like I think you could kind of eat with the Luris deck with Hashaon.
I'm gonna immediately strike back against the Hashaon as a loser easy broken card. I think it's very easy to make a loser deck. However, I also think it is totally within your power as a person to just not fucking put Core Augur in the deck. Hashaon is legitimately flexible because everything that makes this deck broken is totally fucking up to you, and you can build a completely coherent deck that doesn't use them.
This is like bad, right?
I mean, hot take, first team your card I would play.
I like Pia Nalar way more. Like, yeah, I agree that this isn't like a boring, like this doesn't put me to sleep like Maelstrom Wanderer. It feels too much like the Jeskai Commander Energy Precon. Like, this feels like the same thing, doesn't it?
Probably. I have never perceived the Jeskai Commander, and when I saw Saheeli, I was like, fuck yeah, Henzi with blue.
Satya, to me, though, is like that permanence upside is hardly like it ever comes into effect. Like the second I copy a Pyroglyph and I get 2 Pyroglyph triggers on the stack, it's like I don't care if I keep that Pyroglyph. I've just domed someone for 10.
I'm gonna throw a fucking 5/5 island at your face just because I'm mad. I'm mad at you. You want to be barely scraping by with just enough energy, and you want to be looking for the things that are ridiculous to turn into a 5/5. Pia, I can definitely see like easier to build up energy. You actually do want to do the, 55 French fries, 55 hot dogs, 55 hamburgers, 55 proliferations, make as much energy as possible, dump it all into a Sikorsky UH-60 Blackhawk.
That means something to someone in this audience. There's like one person who's like a special interest is helicopters and like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's one War Thunder player who just freaked out.
Oh man, I wish you could put that in Hashaon. Dude, I'm telling you, not letting me put hybrid cards into a color.
Oh, you cannot be trusted with the hybrid, man. I'm gonna speak.
No, it's by erasure.
It's not by erasure. For the 3 people that do play Oathbreaker, this person said, okay, my deck is, they said my commander's Garroop, but the one that makes a wolf, or the one that deals 3 to a creature.
That's cool, I'm vibing with it.
We said, okay, what's your signature spell? They said, oh, well, it's Vampiric Tutor. And we were like, huh? And they said, yeah, it's like Golgari mid-range control. And they did stuff with Survival of the Fittest and Recurring Nightmare. It was like almost bar for bar copy of the 1998 Recurring Nightmare Championship deck, as told to me by somebody in chat. And we were playing it and we were like, damn, this shit doesn't work. What are you doing to make this work? And the person goes in chat, oh, well, it's very important to tutor turn 1. For a setup piece. And we all said, hey bestie, I'm sorry to tell you this, you don't get to cast your signature spell until your Oathbreaker's out. And they went, oh no, at my LGS we all let each other do that. And so we asked, okay, what's the rest of your meta? Do you want to know what combination was apparently the top of this guy's meta?
Is it just like a Wrath of God in the fucking command zone? Farewell.
Here's the commander.
Okay.
Are you sitting down? Are you holding on to the arms of your chair?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit me with it. Oh no, Oathbreaker's cool now. Let's do this.
Oh my God, this is like a planet you visit in Star Trek. And we begged them, like, don't correct anybody. Do not tell them. Do not tell them that the rules are wrong. This is something that has never been or will never be replicated anywhere else.